our second conversation this morning. I am so happy for this conversation because in studio we have Dr. Carl Bob and Mr. Adam Benz, who are going to be here talking to us a little bit about the U.S. Embassy in partnership with the Peacework in Belize to talk about the financial literacy program for primary school students in southside Belize City. Joining us via Zoom, we have two students, Devon Maivit and Alyssa Escalante, along with the principal of the Unity Presbyterian School, Dalila Makwani. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know they're in studio, but they're over there on the other side. But we can't have everybody. It's too small of a set, so sorry, and thank you so much for joining us this morning, everybody. So a little bit about the partnership and just the financial literacy program in general. Why this program? What was the inspiration?
The inspiration, in my opinion, is that as a result of the pandemic, we have come to the realization that financial literacy is needed now more than ever. As we all know, the pandemic, due to the pandemic, many persons have lost their jobs. Many of them, even if they had savings, they had to use up their savings. So it's needed, and I think we want to start to teach our children from a very young age the importance of savings. As a teacher, I can tell you the optimum time to teach any new concept, any new idea to any student is between the ages of 0 to 8, so that it becomes habit forming. And so I want to thank the United States Embassy, in particular, Adam Benz, who has been so supportive of this program. And I mean, we have become close friends because of his enthusiasm, along with Shadell and Fidel. So I want to thank them that the students from 3 Southside schools, mainly St. John's Anglican, St. John's Vianney, Unity Presbyterian, are now able to make better financial savings, decisions, sorry.
Let's talk a little bit about what the program entails.
So we were so excited when Dr. Bob shared her vision with us because it is exactly what we want to do. We know that financial literacy at a young age changes the directions of young people's lives, but we also know it transforms communities as well. Because it creates a foundation for people to save, to invest in their neighborhoods, and to actually create employment and to create better opportunities. So we chose specific neighborhoods, and we really chose these 3 schools because we felt they had the ability for maximum impact. I think 90% of the students at both schools actually come from lower income backgrounds, and most of the students that are there have the interest of having a better future. They all have stories, and what I think was fascinating is every one of them has a goal, and that was part of the idea. Is the program is basically over a 3-month program. We help people identify, well, what is it that you want? What do you want to do to change your life? And how can you go about saving? How can your savings help you reach your goal? How can you use your money wisely? How can you manage a budget? These seem complicated, but they're not really. And they actually are transformative. So each of the students was able to set their own target. And I think the really incredible things is some of the students, in fact, some of the students here today actually are achieving things that they maybe never thought were possible. So for us, I can't imagine a program we're more proud to support. And I think this is probably one of those programs I think will really make an impact, not just for the students themselves, but for their communities and maybe for the generations to come, basically.
I think what's interesting here is that when you look at the generational differences, perhaps when we were growing up, we weren't taught financial literacy. It's something that we learned on our own going up, and it's based on a trial and error basis, right? Where we make certain mistakes when it comes to planning, budgeting, spending, taxes and what have you, versus now being able to expose students at a very young age to what it means to be financially responsible, what it means to understand how important finances are and expenditure and what have you.
I agree, and I think one of the things that was most inspiring for me, and these are some of the things we learned just from the students themselves, was the ways in which obstacles get put up in the life of students. And that sometimes having better financial literacy skills can help smooth some of the obstacles. How sometimes students have a disadvantage going to high school because, for instance, they don't have tablets. They have to work on their parents' smartphone for something. So saving at a young age gives them an advantage going into high school, that can maybe have them have a better experience and then have a better job coming out of that. And all these things are connected to each other. And it is one step, it is one tool, it is not the only solution, but it's an important tool to get us to the next step to prosperity, basically.
I just want to mention that also that we had like 3 main objectives. We wanted the children to become financially literate, of course. We wanted them to open savings account.
Yeah.
When I met the students, only about 2% of the students had savings account. I'm very happy to share that we have 47% of students now with savings account. And we have challenged them, and I told them I'm going to come back and check with their principals that they save regularly, at least once a month, whatever they can afford. We have also taught them the value of work.
Yeah.
So, so the students, in the book that I wrote, Jacita Learns to Save, it's about a little boy who wanted a tablet. And he said, how am I going to buy a tablet? And the grandmother said, well, you have to work. He said, how can I work? And so we are teaching the students that yes, even at your age, you can work. You can identify trusted family members to do chores. And I think that is what Devon did.
Yes.
He found chores, he found little jobs here and there, and he was able to save the $50 that he needed to open the savings account.
Then let's get Devon and Alyssa into the conversation then. Devon, Alyssa, what has this program done for you so far, and what do you think that you can take away from it?
Let's go first, Devon.
Yes, since then, Tapo, you first.
This program was good to me because it teaches me about needs and wants and how to budget money.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's go over to Alyssa.
Alyssa.
It has taught me what SMART goals are and how to set my own goal, how to budget properly, and I have even set my own goal for my birthday,
Oh, what's your goal for your birthday?
to buy myself my own tablet,
Okay, when's your birthday?
September 16th.
So we'll be checking back you in on September 16th. Then,
Exactly.
Alyssa.
That's a good challenge.
Let's have Ms. Dalila talk to us a little bit about the changes that she has seen in the students. How effective do you think this program is for the students moving forward?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Well, first of all, it was challenging as we entered the class and we start about saving, investing, and sharing. Our students were like, how are we going to share and invest if we don't have? They didn't have no saving. So we brainstormed with them, taught them the budget, we taught them about investment, and we also taught them on how they can start their own business. So we started by giving them the support, encouraging them that yes, they can. And we started with simple banana shake. We didn't have a lot to invest, but simply with $1 banana and 2 carnations, and somebody donated a lot of milk. And that's how we started. And this showed the child that, okay, from $2, you can make $10. And that's how we started. And then I saw that the students were motivated. At first, they even felt ashamed to go from class to sell or to ask teachers to give them a little job to do. But then this have changed. This mentality have changed already in them. And I'm so happy about that, because then I want the students from Belize to be critical thinkers, to don't be afraid to go and invest, to challenge themselves. As Belizeans, we teach them a lot about math. But then we don't teach them the aspect of finance. So that's something that I embrace, and I love the program. And I have already seen these changes in my students. When they had their market day, they were eager to see what was the profit that they made. And some of them were really happy. They made very good profit. some of them did not. And it was a learning experience for them. And so the changes, there's a lot that we have already seen in 3 months.
Devon, Alyssa, how old are you guys?
Miss, I'm 13 years old.
You're 13.
So,
And what classes are you guys in?
Under 6.
Standard 6.
that
When they first came to you with big words like budget and investment and finances, how did that make you think when it came to the workforce or savings or money? What did you think about that at first?
This, I'm think about, just, the program is just about money.
Right.
I thought that it was just about money as well and how we can make money easily and ways how to get jobs.
Okay. And now, what is your thought?
I learned how to get a job. I even have my own business now.
Okay. And Devon?
Miss, it do me good because I open my bank account and enough and save my $50 and it mean more to me than first at the beginning of the program.
You said something about differentiating between wants and needs. What did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
mean by that?
Miss, I mean that you don't buy anything what you want, you have to buy things what you need.
All right. And what
First, right?
First. So what is it that you needed at first?
First, I needed to find a job so I could save up the money.
How did you find a job?
Like how the virus is here, I thought it would be good to help out the teachers.
How did you help out your teachers?
Well, I went wrong and asked them if they want I could sweep up their class or put something in the library for them and do errands around the compound.
Okay. And they pay you good?
Yes, Mom.
All right. What about you, Alyssa?
I had different jobs. I worked for my aunt, helping her clean her house, and I sold chips and dips.
You make nice chips and dip? You make nice chips and dip?
Yes, ma'am.
What does this teach you guys overall about financial responsibility though? Because while you've spoken about being able to save, being able to open your own account, what does this mean for you in terms of setting certain goals and understanding how important it is to realize these goals? Let's go to Devon.
It started to me, financial literacy means so much because you are kind of the inner debts.
What is debt?
That's the one like you borrow money and you can't pay it back.
All right. I mean, what about yourself, Alyssa?
The financial literacy has taught me how to avoid financial pitfalls and how to budget my money properly.
So I mean, we keep coming back to the program and how it has helped them, and clearly, they're very bright and intelligent kids, and I hope that they keep up everything that they've taught. How did you come about starting the program? So what are the measures that were taken into the program? So I want to get into the details of that.
Sure, we can start. I mean, I think one of the things that was fascinating, we'd discussed this for quite a while about how to best approach the program. I think that there's a moment, an aha moment in every child's life, and I think we've had it with both these kids, but with a lot of other kids, where you see that this is not something that other people do, but something that you can do. So we structure the program in such a way that the different steps of the process, including going to, we found a credit union where they can create a bank account. That moment is a transformative moment in a way because it's no longer an idea or something you read in a book or on paper, but something you have. And I think that there's a moment, and I think Dr. Bob can speak to this quite well, with every child, where suddenly it's not just something that they're hearing in class, but something that they're doing for their life. So we try to structure every step of the process like a person would do to go through the stages of financial literacy. And so that it was no longer, like you said, these big ideas, but rather something doable, achievable. And I think that's the most important thing, because what I think the challenge for a lot of people is when you feel like, well, this is something I know that some people do and it works out for them, but I've never seen anyone do it. I don't know anyone who does these things. Now you're the person who does these things. And Dr. Bob was telling me that in some cases, the family comes back and opens up an account as well. And then the child actually inspires the family and the parents to create their own account. And that to me is truly inspiring. I think that's how you really see an impact that goes far beyond just the students themselves. Dr. Bob, I don't know if you want to talk more about that.
So one of the things, like I remember earlier you mentioned, Isani, that why it didn't happen for you when you were younger, why it didn't happen for us. But imagine if we were taught goal setting, our lives would be different. These students they are asked, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve in life? Devan wanted to achieve, he wants to achieve a tablet. Melissa does too. Alyssa does too. So we are teaching them how it is possible. This has impacted not only them, but their teachers. Their teachers listening when I go there and I teach, because I actually do the teaching. And I remember one of the teachers from St. John said, Miss Bob, where were you 10, 20 years ago when I needed you? That's what the teacher said. And the teacher said, if I had this training, my life would be different.
Absolutely.
Because as children growing up in Belize, whenever we were given money, what was the first thing we did?
Buy
Find
junk
one
food.
shop
Buy junk food.
and go and spend it. Now we are teaching children to learn to save a portion of whatever they earn. We also, a part of the curriculum that we taught them was entrepreneurship. Identify what you are good at. So there was one little boy from St. John's Vianney. He's a good artist. And so he made greeting cards. And we had a market day where they expose or display their talent. And he made greeting cards and he sold them at $3 each.
This is empowerment, though.
It's empowering. And then at Miss Dalila's school, I think it's Alyssa and another little girl, they made panades.
So how did you select the schools to do the financial program, and are you going to continue to do this this training across the country?
Well, as the former chief education officer, I know the data, I know about the southside schools, I know the needs of schools, I know which schools need this kind of empowerment, as Isani said, so it was easy for me to identify them. Financial literacy is also a part of the primary school curriculum. This program was exposed to me by PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers from the United States, and under my leadership, it became a part of the curriculum. So it is there in the curriculum, but I think what we need to do is to ensure that it starts regularly and effectively.
I think the methods as well, because I clearly remember learning about finances, right? But it was in the form of a problem-solving thing, and once you see numbers, the concept is a blur. And I mean, I don't know when I got a bank account. I think it was when I had to like leave for school or something, and that was way in my 20s. So the mere fact that they're able to understand that, hey, there's a space where I can put it. I don't have to, and once I don't see it, I won't spend it, because that's also an issue. They're able to have that money when they need it. How long was the program, and when will you be implementing it again?
Well, I can speak about that a little bit. I would say it's been a 3-month program, but it's actually in a way, and you asked about why we chose Southside Belize City. A lot of our programming that Public Affairs has been working in has been dedicated to Southside Belize City, because we do believe that this is an integrated issue that many different aspects, which is creating entrepreneurship, creating opportunities for former gang members to be able to create new lives for themselves, helping students who get the ideas and see, as you said, that these are not just ideas, but things people can do. So when we talked about the schools, I listened to Dr. Bob's expertise, because I wanted to know where are the schools where students may have least likely have seen people safe, may at least likely have seen this in practice, so that they could be the change themselves. They can be the practice. And so I think that for us, I think that the 3-month program, yes, it was a 3-month program of education, but it's also a 3-month program of mindset changing. And I think when we talk about the next phase, this is all part of our goal on how we want to engage with everything in the future. We will make sure financial literacy is a part of what we do in for programs in the future. We're going to be working with Dr. Bob in the future, there's no question. But our thought is, like, we know that all of these problems are interrelated, and we know that it's not just southside Belize City, and we know that there are other communities affected too. Our question is, how do we maximize impact? And I think that's one thing I can see that when we're going to be looking at, when we're designing the program again, we're looking at the data. Because also a big decision was, what are the measurables that are going to come out of this? Are we going to see real change? And once we see that change, how do we then expand that change to other communities? So we will have a new version of this, but we're going to be looking at the data first and saying, well, what was effective, what was not? And then how can we expand this responsibly? So we're not just trying to, get, lightning in a bottle again, but actually have something that has an achievement. So there will be a new version of this, but it's going to be looking at what works and what doesn't and how we can make it bigger. So.
There's also a famous quote that I'd like to share, and I was sharing with Adam. I read a lot about financial literacy, and I think it was 2 weeks ago, the governor of Florida has made it mandatory that all students leaving tertiary must be exposed to financial literacy. And there's this quote that says that students spend 16 years, which includes a bachelor's degree, in school to teach them how to get jobs and earn big money. But nobody has taught them how to save it and keep it.
And spend it wisely.
And spend it wisely. And make financial smart decisions. So the program is called Money Smart, because we want to teach the children how to be money smart.
Devon, Lisa, is there anything that you would like to say to the viewers out there about what this program has taught you, and what do you have to say to the students that would like to learn more about financial literacy?
For me, I would tell the viewers out there to be financial literacy. God, it's a good thing, and it will help you throughout your life.
Alyssa?
I would like to say that the viewers should make sure that they spend their money wisely and think smart. Don't buy your wants, buy your needs.
And Principal Makwani?
Well, I would encourage all students to join the financial program. They will gain a lot. They will learn about saving. They will actually have a saving account, which is something that will help them in their life. They will also learn to invest and to use your money wisely. So I would encourage every viewer, every parent, and children to join the program.
All right, is there any final words from you guys in respect of this program and where you intend to see it going in the future?
Well, for me, again, I want to thank the United States Embassy for their support to my nonprofit organization, and particularly Adam and what he has shared and how the support he has given to me. But I believe that we need to ensure that the students who are most deserving, students who are living in hardship areas, that they should be exposed to financial literacy so that they can have a better future for themselves. Because many times these children get money, but they are not taught what to do with it. And so they make wrong decisions. And through this financial literacy program, we teach them to make goals. And we encourage them that one of your goals should always be education. And when you are financially literate and you make your goal, you can start planning, because we teach them that money is earned. So how can you start to save towards your education? And in the song, JC to Save, we want them to develop financial independence so that they don't have to be begging. We want to get rid of this this behavior where we are going to beg somebody. Or my son is going to school, Isani, can you help me? Your child starts school, that's the time you start saving towards that goal.
And I guess from my perspective, I want to thank Dr. Bob for her vision, and I wish there were a million Dr. Bobs, not just in Belize, but around the world, because I think it would make a huge difference. But I also think that we are proud to partner with this, but I'd also like to issue a challenge to the business community and to others. The students here are investing in themselves and in their future. I think they deserve it. I think they deserve this. I think we deserve to also invest in them as well.
Yeah.
And it's not just something the U.S. Embassy does or anyone else does, it's something that everyone can do. Because if we're working together, part of it, we all can contribute to making a better life for this generation that will make a better life for the entire country. So it's worth it.
Well said. Well, thank you, all of you. Thank you to Alyssa and Devon and Principal Makwane for joining us. Thank you so much, Dr. Bob. Thank you so much, Adam. With that, we're going to take our final break and we'll be back for a wrap-up.